What's going on, everybody? Cover Killer Nation here, your favorite reviewer of all things metal and all things period. Now, of course, this past Sunday there was a special in my blog TV, which is, of course, blogtv.com/people/coverkiller. I have shows there every so often. Why haven't you come if you haven't come yet? That really hurts me on the inside. But that special was Obscura's new album, Omnivium, which was streamed in its entirety. And this is, of course, the latest album from the progressive technical metal wizards. And this is something where mainly the tech death side has really been shown. However, on this particular release, we really got an urge overkill to that progressive side. And yes, that is kind of a joke. I kind of like that. If you actually get that joke, I'm surprised. Bravo, slow clap, golf clap. However, this is a band that hails from Germany, and they have really wowed and impressed a lot of people with their first couple of albums. 2009's Cosmogenesis is something that a lot of people have used as a reference point for why exactly they have really started to fall in love with the technical death metal genre. However, with Obscura's unique taste, which is directly referenced a little bit by the fact that their name comes from an old Gorguts song from the 1990s, well, you can definitely tell that this is going to be a band that's going to sort of take the rules and bend them in half a little bit. That way they can mold their own particular style and make themselves and carve themselves a niche. And let me tell you something, with this particular record, with Omnivium, they definitely have done this. Now, this is traditionally a 9-track affair, which clocks in at roughly about 51 minutes long. However, if you are able to obtain the iTunes special bonus track, which is a cacophony cover entitled Concerto, then it's going to come in at a cool 55 minutes, roughly. Now, this is an album that is going to be discreetly and exquisitely kind of summed up by the very first fleeting moments of its character, of its inception. Right whenever you first start with track numero uno, with the first track, you're going to know exactly what you're going to be into. You're going to be into a little bit more of a melodic affair, a little bit more of a creative affair where they really have combined and really embraced that progressive side of their particular music, because it comes to you with a very soft introduction, a very soft acoustic introduction, and then bam, right into your face. And it's something that there's a lot of power behind it. This is something that you see traditionally in albums of a little bit more of a classic metal vibe. However, they're doing this with a technical mastery, a technical wizardry of technical death metal. Not to mention, this is a majesty that's something that really needs to be utilized a little bit more, I think, by some bands, instead of just really cranking it up to 300 beats per minute right off the bat. I think you have to have a little bit more of that atmospheric feel to it, because whenever you combine the atmosphere along with the wizardry, along with the progressive tendencies, you have on your hands a brilliant record. You have on your hands a phenomenal record. And this is something that does not necessarily just stay on this one direct course. It's not an album where it just has this 30-second acoustics piece right there at the beginning and then flashes back into their old ways and never looks back. This is something where they really embrace the two and kind of form a union, a marriage, a bond between the two of them, creating a perfect synchronicity with the two. And that is what makes Omnivium definitely the best in Obscura's catalog, not to mention a very, very fitting member to the 2011 heavy metal lineup. This is an album that directly came after the Born of Osiris, the Discovery album that I reviewed last week and was very blown away with, was very impressed with. But this is what I'm going to say for all of you guys. For as good as that album is, and for as much as I love that, that was a 9, this would have to be like a 9.1 or 9.2. This album is that good. This album is able to combine all of those elements that I had just described to you into that perfect mold. It's something where they are making and constructing a witch's brew of what progressive technical metal wizardry should be. They're throwing in dashes of their old stuff with other bands that potentially really fit in with their genre. They're tossing in a little bit of what you would consider from an old school death, or maybe even factoring in from some old school Gorguts, maybe. And then Opeth. Yeah, there's some Opeth tendencies on this particular disc as well. And this is something that is very welcome, not only to a fan, but also to somebody who really wants to get into tech death, that maybe has explored more along the lines of the progressive death metal side of music. Either that, or somebody who's into progressive music that doesn't exactly see a lot of relevance to death metal, or doesn't exactly enjoy death metal. This is really an album that has a little bit of something for everybody. It's another one of these records that have been coming out for the past now week and a half, along with the Born of Osiris, that really links a lot of different sides together and can actually get a lot of different people very excited about not only the future of this band, but the future of this genre. Cannot recommend this album enough. This is an album that if you see it in your store that's near to you, near and dear to your heart, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. If you're a fan of Obscura, prepare to be amazed. If you're not, prepare to find your next favorite band, either that or at least the next band that really blows your mind. 2011 is starting to get really strong, guys, and Omnivium by Obscura, cannot praise this album enough. Very, very good job, guys. Kudos from America, hails from America, and right now, hail Germany, because goddamn, what a release. Thanks, guys. coverkillernation saying, well, Germany is alive and well right now. It only took about 70 years after Nazi occupation, but it was worth the wait.